Good morning. This is a very brilliant and active morning. We are going to have a political show courtesy of NFD in cooperation with the GEDI show. This morning we call it an exclusive interview since we have a mega gubernatorial bid runner that has been in the limelight for quite some months now. We are privileged to have Dr. Hassan Muhammad Adan, who is a leading medical expert known to many and has shown his interest on politics. And here with us today, he is trying to tell us the basics about the reasons why his attention is drawn to running for governor position in Wajir County. Doctor, welcome.
Thank you, Amasant.
So to start with, who is Dr. Hassan?
Bismillah. Dr. Hassan is a person who is originally from Wajir, but whose father was an askari soldier. So he has grown up in different parts of this country. He, in the early 80s, joined university and became a medical doctor. He has been working in the health sector for about 26 years. After leaving the government service, has been in the corporate world now for approximately another 20 years. So Dr. Hassan is a person from Wajir who has grown up in all parts of this country, who has been involved in the health sector for about 30 years as a government employee, and after that has been in the health corporate sector for the rest of his life. Health sector has been my life. I've been in leadership positions in the health sector. Approximately out of all those years, it's only 4 or 5 years that I've not been in the leadership of health sector. The experience that I've had is both being involved in the educational sector of health, where I've been a senior registrar. Senior registrar means a doctor who is a consultant and is involved in the teaching process of undergraduates and postgraduate students in the health sector. I've also been involved in different sectors of the health itself, evolving government policies and programs as regards health. I've been the medical officer of health in Machakos district. I became the director of family health. Family health means health for women and children and the young adults. I've been the director of primary health care, which means the public health, the non-curative health services for the national government. I've been involved in the financing of health sector, that is national health insurance. I've been the medical officer of health for Nairobi. At one time I was the on a crisis basis sent to oversee the reorganization of Pumani Hospital, where pregnant women were having a lot of challenges, and there was significant death that raised a national cry. So I've been involved in both policy and program and emergency situations within the health sector for many years.
Thank you very much. That is a good introduction. It was yesterday when the Fai community have now given you the trust to run as their sole candidate and flag bearer in the quest for governor position of Wajir County. How's your feeling, and might be you can take us through a little bit of the nomination process?
Let me start with my political journey. My political journey started in 2007. From 2007 I've been involved in the politics of Wajir. That time I was working with the national government. I felt there was need to improve on the political leadership of Wajir. So I was supporting certain leadership positions in Wajir in order to evolve a different form of leadership, political leadership, servant leadership within our communities. I'm also involved in 2013, 2017 gubernatorial elections. These were election years, all of them. That is the main reason, was that the felt need for proper leadership, the felt need for the problems that the communities have within Wajir come to my doorstep, come to my bedroom. Health needs, social need, water need, pasture, security, all those issues involve direct interactions between me and my community. So I felt that it was necessary for me to get involved to provide that leadership that responds to these issues in a fair and just manner. For that reason, this year I have thought over it for a significant time of period. I have prayed to God, I have done istikhara, and I have submitted myself to come and try, and hopefully, inshallah, will be successful, become the governor of Wajir, to provide some level of leadership that people will see is different from previous leaderships, in terms of service delivery, in terms of fairness, in terms of policy and program direction, in terms of corporate governance. Because I see, for example, that one of the biggest problems, an immediate issue about Wajir is corporate governance, and that should not be a problem that takes time to resolve. So I then came to the community and submitted my application to the community, and the first time there was a little bit of an issue. I appealed on that process, and alhamdulillah, the issue we were provided with an opportunity to resubmit our applications, and that allowed us and the community to bring back the process. And I'm grateful to the people, my community, the leadership within my community, for now allowing me to represent the community for the gubernatorial seat in Wajir, inshallah.
On the same nomination process, Dr. Ali, we are reliably informed that they took almost 9 months in training and basically fine-tuning of who becomes the right seat for the governor position. On the same breath, there were 2 other, mentioned candidates alongside you, namely Mr. Hassan Fuje and Mr. Uwas Sheikh, who, according to our own investigation, are also a closer match to you, and are praised and acclaimed of having good leadership background, despite though a good idea has to give way for a better idea, as they say. Maybe you are the better idea and they are the good ideas. But what message, in a brief note, will you be sending them in this live interview?
Wajir is a company. Consider it as a company. It's a company. It's a corporate organization. And corporate organizations, for example, when you want to employ somebody, there must be certain measurements that you submit to the person, and ask the person whether that person has these skills, for that matter. The initial process did not consider this process for bringing out an individual that can competently, and I'm not saying that these people are incompetent. These are young people who are younger than me, they are not that young, who have considered themselves able and able to become the governors of Wajir, and I'm sure they are. But when the community looked at the application, and they did this in an open democratic process, they have taken the decision that I am the one who is a little bit more qualified than the other individuals. One of them actually humbly, and I'm grateful to the young man, to the younger person, Dr. Hassan Fuje, Khalid, who allowed the 2 of us, the remaining 2 of us, to participate in that process. Hassan, for purposes of family unity, disengage himself from that process, and we appreciate that, and we appreciate his community and the young and old persons, the people who are surrounding him and who are supporting his candidature. Having said that, the process took a little bit of time because it's a negotiated democracy. The other form of democracy is where nobody goes through this kind of process and they submit themselves directly to the voter. Here, communities are a little bit different. They want to bring out somebody who they think can respond to the need of their need as well as the wider community in Wajir. And this process has been a challenge, but Alhamdulillah, we are in the tail end of the process within the immediate family. Now we started the bigger process of going to all the communities of Wajir, and I will submit my application to the people of Wajir, and show them that I have the capacity, I have the endurance, I have the all the skills that are necessary to provide them with a leadership that responds to their immediate and future need, inshallah.
One thing is a sure bet, your popularity. You are a man who is known because of the rich, medical career that he possesses. One of the main reasons as to your popularity is the Nairobi South Hospital. So one thing with your candidature of Wajir is you don't need popularity. What is that one thing you think is a hurdle to your campaigns, because you are already popular?
I think obviously the campaign is a marketing event. One has to market himself. However good you are, you must sell that goodness, just like Omo and sugar or whatever it is. So it is, the main challenge would be getting the information to the consumer of that information, inshallah. Of course, Nairobi South is a small part of my life. It's not the big part of my life. I practice in all the hospitals in Nairobi, but I'm a shareholder, not a main shareholder. I'm a shareholder. Actually, I'm a shareholder of Nairobi South Hospital. I'm not the owner of Nairobi South Hospital. And we working to make it a hospital that needs the international standards, so that our people can benefit. But why I've come here is not to talk about Nairobi South Hospital. I do hope that in these 5 years, because I only want 5 years, in these 5 years, I'd be able to do 2 or 3 very important issues for the people of Wajir. One, within the maybe 3 months, rationalize health service delivery, because I think health service is not about issue of resource, but it's about issues of corporate management. Placing staff where their skills are meant for, and rationalize the different facilities, and provide them with the equipment and the resources that they need to provide those services. So you right place the persons and provide them with the resources they need to discharge their obligation and duties. Health sector is not a big issue. I think the bigger issue and a much more serious issue is about a global issue about security. We need as a people, I know the national government is trying, but we need as a people to work on our security and unity. Enhance our security and enhance our unity. The unity comes out of fair resource allocation and distribution and resource sharing, basically. Those things, there must be policy and programs that target those issues. I think they're there, but we need to enhance them, inshallah. The other thing that is extremely important is education, to me as a person, education. I know education is a national function, but because over the last 60 or 70 years we have lagged behind other communities in Kenya in respect of education, we need as a people to invest in a direct manner some of our resources in education. Education is the most important live event and activity that a community can do. Health depends on education. resource and livelihood depends on education. Everything depends on education. In fact, it is said that if you educate a woman, you not only educate a family, but you educate a community, and you bring up the economic endowments of those communities. So education is one. The other issue is about we are herders. We are a community of herders. We are livestock. The basic question is, under the global environment, under the climatic changes, because of the climatic changes, what is the future of our livelihood, which is livestock herding? That's an important question. Every year, every drought, we have thousands of animals dying. What is it that we can do that this does not, this vicious cycle does not continuously go on? What is the value addition process that we need? I know we have an abattoir here. I don't know whether it has been completed or the structures to benefit appropriately has been set for that abattoir. But we must think about value addition. We must think about pasture, policy pasture. Why are these animals that we need to do about water resource mapping? Because a livelihood for the herder is about pasture and water. And so we must think of those issues significantly and set up deliberate processes to deal with pasture and water for those communities. Urban communities, we live in a poor water resource environment. Urban communities, we need to think about water and sewage. Water and sewage systems, particularly Wajir. I suspect there was a time an attempt was made to deal with that issue, but that issue must be done clearly, not only for Wajir, but all our urban centers. So water, provision of water and sewage systems must be done. The other things, of course, there are other issues that of governance that we need to deal with, but I will at one time give a complete booklet to indicate to the people on my thoughts about what, and we can negotiate as a people on what are priorities and what are policy programs. We did a bird's eye view of where we are going as a community, because we'll be left behind, inshallah.